it's glass, say you want to really water ski on the glass. Jack says, no, my daughters can water ski in the open ocean. So he takes us out in the ocean off Catalina Island. And Suzanne is a mighty mite. I mean, how little was she? Tiny, tiny. Her double skis are probably longer than Suzanne. And up she bobs, and she is undulating through the open ocean until up pops a couple 100-pound seal.
Oh no.
And it's following Suzanne. And now it's not so funny because it's like, oh my God, don't scare her, but don't let her fall. So I have this very vivid memory of my tiny little sister. The rope's going up and down. She's water skiing through the open ocean, and this huge seal following her.
See, once again, another example of him not being a very good dad.
My dad is not above child labor, and this one's kind of dedicated to my dad and Gordon Brown's song. He worked in an office building that had a huge adjunct warehouse, and they sold components. So he would take us down to the warehouse, and we would stand there in a little well-behaved assembly line and pop these little cardboard boxes and put capacitors in them. I have probably packed thousands of capacitors, and I have this very vivid memory, and it taught me a really great work ethic from that.
Again, child labor, not a very good dad. Just pointing it out.
We grew up camping, and I'm going to give you kind of 4 quick anecdotes about camping with our family. The first one is Yosemite, and it's the typical great family vacation. Well, if you ask any of my sisters, the poem goes something like this.
Oh,
a bear is really not a pest till he becomes a hungry guest. Going through your car and camper, tent and pack and picnic hamper. So you can imagine what happened on our vacation to Yosemite. I am Danish, and so I have that kind of Viking genetics in me.
I remember the end of it. We wish to cause you no alarm, but a hungry bear can do you harm.
So decades later.
Wait, although the bear will call you rude, a locked trunk is the place for food.
So those are kind of the childhood memories. I was blessed enough to have a dad who was adventuresome and a mom who loved to travel. And they rented a camper for us one year, and we got to go camping through Kauai and the Big Island. And it was life-changing for me. So the ability to see a live volcano and to have my sister's braces ruined by gnawing on pure cane sugar, but also to be able to go underwater and experience the beautiful saltwater fish have given me a love of saltwater aquariums. And Hawaii was really my first exposure to sushi. We met another family that we spent a lot of time with, and there's something called a keyhole limpet, and this woman would carve them off the rocks and make ceviche, and it left a lasting impression for me that you can eat from the earth. And really had an amazing experience. So that was Hawaii. So we're going to shift gears to Lake Powell, which is this beautiful lake in Utah. It's out in the desert, red rock, and we're going rustic camping. Think toilet seat with 3 legs over the knoll. And in comes this horrific storm. Lightning, torrential rain, thunder, and the moms have gotten a tarp, and they've got the kids under the tarp, and they're trying to sing to us, keep us entertained, while this complete windstorm storm passes. And the dads are in a ski boat, driving this thing around the bay, hoping to all God that it didn't crash into the rocks. Later in that trip, I was also water skiing, and the big fish story, I'm in the water, and I don't really like fish, and this fish came up and started nibbling on my food. Needless to say, I walked on water, and every year the fish got there. And asked my dad sometime about San Felipe. Linda was a Hobie Cat racer, and we would go all different places to Hobie Cat regattas, and San Felipe was one of our favorite. I took some sorority sisters down, and there weren't really tent camping, but there were these rudimentary cinder block sort of not even cabana square things. And in the middle of the night, a drunken Hobie Catter comes bursting through the door. Later, in hindsight, thinking it was his room. But the story entails my dad, the San Felipe jail, police, money on the hood of a car, you know, it was all horrible. So,
oh my God.
Camping stories. we are all very, very capable. And the line in the song that I couldn't really get right was the one from my husband. This party has 3 spreadsheets. We've all learned to be quite capable in business, work our way around a spreadsheet and be competent. But it's a little bit odd, and you don't really get that in high school, when as a female, you open your Christmas stocking and there's a tire gauge. I'm going to get sentimental. My dad was very busy. He was a businessman and a husband and had a lot of things going on, but he always took time out for us. And I have huge fond memories of flying these beautiful canvas kites on the hill behind our house when we were really little girls. And he took us to Salisbury's Public Library, and I got my first library card, and we learned how to read, and I've loved reading ever since. And in high school, we all wanted to be thin and skinny and athletic, and we were all busy. And so after dinner, my dad would load the bikes up on the bike rack, and we would leave our house and drive 40 minutes to Torrance, and we'd get on the bike path, and as a father and daughters, we'd ride up and down to get our exercise. So I just have to pay tribute to an amazing dad who always took the time to have activities with us. And like Suzanne, there's some memories I'm sure my dad would like to forget. So one day he was invited to leave work, come to meet Mr. Terry, the vice principal at my high school, in his office, because I was getting suspended. Not good. And then fast forward to college, where I think I probably amassed 250 parking tickets. So there are some things about being a dad that weren't always easy. The happiest day of my life was when my father hosted my wedding here in Tahoe. He walked me down the aisle to marry the man of my dreams. And it was just a magical day. So in the line in my part of the song, he's always been my help desk. No matter where I was in the world, I lived in London and traveled a lot. I always knew I could pick up the phone and get some random advice. I could have an urgent panic question answered, that he would go to the computer, figure out the answer, or find out some way to find the answer. And he was always comfortable and happy to give me TLC. Happy birthday, Daddy.
Not the brick story. Jack's younger brother, and known him all my life. I just going to be very brief here. All I want to do is say, my big brother, he's been for me, throughout life. Even though he went to SC and I went to Stanford. And now they're only getting to be known as a school of higher intellectual learning, But all I want to do right now is ask everybody to raise your glasses and wish Jack a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Should we sing?
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jack. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip.